Alright, the first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Wait. Didn't Tyrone the Guy 3 already use this joke in his Pokemon X and Y review? Alright, listen up. The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Second rule is, well, we haven't had that many participants, so we haven't been able to bring up a bracket of rules. And that's because no one's spreading the word about Fight Club, because, it would break the first rule. So, we don't have any fighters. But regardless, if this is your first night here at Fight Club, you have to fight. Oh yeah, I guess he's running out of material. We should probably start the review before he breaks any more fourth walls. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Hello everybody, Tyrone the Guy 3 here, and welcome to Pokemon Sun and Moon anime reviews. Today we'll be doing the review of episode 15. This episode is titled Scratchmark Hill, RockRuff, and Lycanroc. This episode, man, first of all, I'm really glad, and we got this information before the episode even started, but I'm really glad that Ash ended up with RockRuff. And the reason I'm glad that Ash ended up with RockRuff was because I wanted Ash to have RockRuff for a long time. I wanted Ash to have RockRuff basically the second episode that the series started, and it was in my mind when I visualized what team he would have in Sun and Moon before we got Sun and Moon, but when we were still getting leaks of which Pokemon he would end up having. So to see him with RockRuff was pretty cool. I know that RockRuff is usually with Professor Kukui a lot, but they didn't really say that Kukui owns the RockRuff. He just says that it hangs out with him. So I'm really glad that Ash was able to obtain it. Or I thought, like, in one scenario, Professor Kukui would actually just give his RockRuff to Ash, much like how Ash has obtained Oshawott and Froakie. Those belong to professors, but they really like Ash, so they went with Ash. So I'm really excited at the fact that he does have RockRuff. And the origin story behind all of it is actually really cool, and it's a nice work of development for Trainer and RockRuff. And this formula has sort of been done already with Hawlucha and things like that, and other Pokemon that Ash has helped train in order to compete in a wild fight in order to get stronger. So the formula is very copied, but at the same time it does work here, and it does allow us to flesh into RockRuff's character. I'm trying to figure out why I wouldn't say late into the series, because we're still pretty early, but we've known RockRuff for quite some time in this series, so I'm wondering why just now we decided to divulge into his character. But regardless, at least we did get some decent development with RockRuff, and the payoff is great. Ash gets RockRuff as a Pokemon. Which brings up one little debate I will talk about towards the end of the review. But basically, the episode starts with RockRuff coming in after Ash is coming home from school and stuff, and it showed that RockRuff is really injured. And they're trying to figure out why. And Professor Kukui ends up later on, Ash talks to his other friends about it. They talk about RockRuff and his evolutions. It's a nice little transition period. And the transitions in this episode were actually kind of weird. Like, there was one where the wave washed up and then it was just 3 Magikarps going back into the ocean. These were some very wacky transitions, but it fits the show, the tone of the show, because Sun and Moon is more comedic than X and Y is. So I definitely see why they did transitions like those. But anyway, Professor Kukui actually puts in a lot of hidden cameras into the house to see exactly why RockRuff keeps coming back injured every time. And what they discover is that RockRuff actually leaves the house and goes all the way to this place known as Scratchmark Hill to compete in what I like to call a Pokemon Fight Club, where all of these Pokemon get together and they end up fighting each other in order to get stronger. And it's not like an all-out, a death brawl or anything. It's just them getting stronger without the need of having a trainer train them. And RockRuff ends up losing to this Magmar, but it does show that RockRuff is trying to learn the move Rock Throw. So Ash decides to work together with Pikachu and all of his friends, and they want to get together and teach RockRuff the rock throw and make him stronger so that when he fights off against the Magmar, he can win. So we get a nice, like, training montage for a decent bulk of the episode, too. We get a big training montage, and Ash is training RockRuff slowly and slowly and slowly, and RockRuff gets more powerful and then decides to have that rematch. And when RockRuff ends up doing the rematch against Magmar, RockRuff ends up using the Rock Throw move and beating the Magmar. Now, what does this have to do with the Lycanrocs? The Lycanrocs are the two Pokemon that actually are, like, I guess you can say the leaders of the pack or heads of the Fight Club. So every, like, time they have these matches, it starts off with those two fighting as a demonstration, and then we get an all-out brawl. So I thought that was really cool. So then after that period of RockRuff beating Magmar, it shows that RockRuff really likes Ash. He really likes the fact that Ash helped make him stronger. And Professor Kukui then makes the decision, hey, you should keep RockRuff, because Ash does explain to everybody in the class, and this is for the audience and the students to understand that RockRuff isn't Professor Kukui's. He actually just hangs out at Professor Kukui's house. Professor Kukui gave RockRuff some food a long time ago, and RockRuff is just coming back each time trying to get more and more food. So that was a nice transition. I like the fact that we learn much about RockRuff's character and how it acts and why it's exactly there. Because in the video games, RockRuff is Professor Kukui's as well, but we don't really get any real explanation for why that's the case. RockRuff's there just because he's there. So it actually works out a lot better here. Either that or I think he goes to a period of catching RockRuff, but regardless, RockRuff's there and he's just sort of there, whereas here they actually decided to give him much more of a character, and I like the bromance that he has with Pikachu, with Ash's Pikachu. So it's definitely clear that RockRuff is going to be a great member of this team. And then after that, they basically do some training, and I like how the fact that Rotom points out that Ash's training methods are kind of odd, but they're his training methods nonetheless, and they definitely do amplify Ash's wacky, goofy-like, crazy character here more so than in X and Y, where it was just straight, okay, I'll fight Clement a bunch of times until my Pokemon get stronger, or I'll have my Pokemon fight each other to get stronger as well. So, yeah, it's definitely a different training method, but it's an interesting one nonetheless. Anyway, after that's all said and done, when Ash catches the RockRuff, this is where this brings up a big, I don't want to say issue, but I want to say a debate that me and my good friend KG Prestige are having right now. KG wants RockRuff to evolve into the nighttime Lycanroc, or known as the midnight form. Also, he's known as the aka the Edge Rock. I want RockRuff to evolve into midday Lycanroc, and we are having this bit of a debate. So in the comment sections, put which form do you want RockRuff to evolve into. Do you want him to evolve into his midday form or his midnight form? The reason I say the midday form is because aesthetically, the midday form looks more appealing to me. It looks better. To me, it just looks cooler. I can see the appeal for the nighttime form as well, but to me, the day form just looks better. Now, I will give KG Prestige this, because I think KG Prestige has a bit of an edge over me in terms of what RockRuff will evolve into, and here's my reason right now. The reason for this is strictly because of when Ash caught RockRuff. Rather than waiting till the next day for RockRuff to celebrate the fact that it defeated Magmar and Ash he catches RockRuff at night, which we rarely see Ash catch Pokemon at nighttime. So I think it's important that RockRuff was caught at night. And I think the show may exemplify on the fact that he caught RockRuff at night, so that RockRuff ends up evolving into Lycanroc. Now, one of the battles that RockRuff will be in later in future episodes shows that he is going to be fighting a Mudspray in the daytime, but that doesn't necessarily mean that could be happening. Like, it takes Pokemon a while to evolve in animes. So, he may evolve at night, but I still want him to evolve in the day. So we're having this big debate right now over who wins. Put your comments in the comment section below, midnight form or midday form. But with that, this episode did a really good job of getting from point A to point B and having a nice transitional period. It wasn't one of the best episodes ever, but it did get the basics of how Ash usually ends up catching and befriending a Pokemon. He usually trains it up or helps it achieve its personal goal, and then that Pokemon makes the decision to travel with Ash. It's a formula that's almost as old as the series itself, so it's not too unbelievable or surprising. So the next episode is a tiny trio on a big adventure. So I'll see you all then, everybody. Tyrone the God 3 out.
Call it Pop Bubba Sparks.
Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Booty, 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 rockin' everywhere. Rockin' everywhere. Rockin' everywhere.